Good morning, everyone. How are you doing this Beltane season? It's getting warmer. I don't think I'm ready for it. I really enjoy cooler weather. The birds are so loud this morning. There's a tiny little brown speckled finch bird that has been running around in the dead grass amongst the green grass. I think she's looking for like worms and seeds and other things. I throw seeds out all the time. Anyway, and Astra is just a delight to watch. I do have to make sure I keep the door closed first thing in the morning because I'm afraid she's going to go through the screen door. Oh my goodness. I had this wonderful weekend, but I am so sore. Oh my goodness. It's several days later and I'm still sore. Okay, Astra, you gonna come up here? So we're reading from Beltane in the morning. I lave my soul in the everlasting waters. Drop of light, drop of life, drop of love. Be upon my brow, be upon my tongue, be upon my heart. Oh. May my soul be preserved from crack of light till fall of night. Turn the season's wheel while I have slept. You have hastened summer. Before I enter into the motion of the day star, I rest in the stillness of the wheel's turning. Teacher of my soul, I kindle in me the enthusiasm that makes life's path a joyous thing. May I not stint any being of this share in the abundance of life, but ever encourage and support all I meet today to reach their full potential. May I have the daring and audacity to travel my spiritual path to its very heart, to keep open the approaches, the beauty of the universe may shine forth. Reconcile of hearts, create concord between men and women that they may learn to weave with equal delight the shuttle of male and female upon the looms of life. May all eyes be open to transforming the delight of summer this day. May the earth be made glad by the dance of life. May we discern the blessed peace of the pain of delight upon our planet. Oh my goodness. I find that I need to breathe. So there's the workshop I did was Body of 9, and we're working on making sure that we can get all 9 numbers in our body activated and aware, and once you have it, you can tap into those numbers in your physical body as you need them. And something that I've noticed is that 3, natural number 3 is kind of up here. I'm tender there, but I'm really tender down here, which has to do with all the muscles in this area for natural number 6. Oh my goodness, am I sore? It's not bad. It's just, you know, when you do a good workout and you lift weights, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like, oh, I've got different tone. My physical therapist is really going to love me this week because I'm already sore. Oh, so breathe in. Take a nice deep breath. And let it out. And another one. Oh, it feels so good. Today's card is the Dark Mysteries. Enter the chamber of the Dark Goddess. The Dark Goddess calls you to her inner chamber where she holds a test and a gift for you. The test is your willingness to meet and release the fears within that have secretly been holding you back. The gift is freedom, peace, opportunity, and prosperity in all forms. Will you accept? Will you accept her call? Your time for deeper initiation is here. Isn't that pretty? When the Dark Goddess calls you, it is a life-changing experience. It is not always easy, but the rewards for those brave enough to answer her call and enter her inner chamber are tremendous indeed. Oh my goodness, I read that and Astra's been looking at me with those love eyes. You are beautiful. The rewards are a life lived more fearlessly, the gift of loving and being just who you are in truth, without having to impress or bow another out of fear of rejection. It is more open and expansive this way to live, and it attracts the bounty of opportunity, peace, prosperity, well-being, and wisdom. It takes a strong soul to go through this test and into the liberation it delivers. The dark goddess calls you to initiation when you've been working on your own shadow, bringing your whole self into the light. During such times, we often need help in this shadow work, and it can be uncomfortable, painful, or difficult to undertake. As we are uncomfortable working with unconscious material, trying to bring it into the light of our conscious awareness. She's really listening. Aster is. Working with the shadow, the parts of us that we have deemed unlovable, or the parts that seem too marvelous to actually be, requires courage. The dark goddess will call you when your shadow needs healing and integration, when something within is holding you back. And instead, if you acknowledge it and bring it into the light of awareness, it can actually help you move forward. Shadow elements that need integration when the dark goddess is present is power in some form or another. It can be personal, spiritual, or relationship power that needs to change for you to blossom, for life and its gifts to manifest more abundantly. Becoming more powerful does not necessarily mean gaining force. More often, it actually means surrendering your will into alignment with the greater forces, allowing us to consciously participate in the flow of life, sensing the signs and nudges that lead us toward our greatest manifestation of soul. I love that. Integration was the theme all weekend long. At least for me, it was an ongoing, integration is like, you work on a thing that's really uncomfortable, or you work on a thing that's really hard. And the human existence, when you have been knocked down and told that you're not loved, or that connection doesn't matter, or that your power needs to be diminished, or that your insights of situations don't matter, or those visions aren't real, or your connection to your body doesn't matter, or you're just making that up, you can't possibly feel that, or your understanding of how all the pieces go together in the worldview are too vast for the people around you to understand or hear or see. Or maybe people say one thing and then are not holding the integrity of the moment or themselves to follow through with truth. All of those things could be a part of your world. And if you've been seeing those, feeling those, having those experiences, when you get to a place where you have to really push through pain in your body, or push through holding on to your truth and integrating new information into that, and holding on to the love and the light that you hold as a spiritual entity inside a physical body. If that's been happening to you for years, it can be really, really, really hard when you start something new to feel pain and uncomfortableness. And it can be very hard to look at who you really are and hold your truth, because you've been knocked down for so long. You've been in isolation for so long, or the people around you just didn't understand you. Your words seemed convoluted to them. Your ability to tap into who you really are was not acknowledged or recognized or given validity or listened to. And so when you start really working on shadow stuff and start really working on the transformation of taking that shadow, whatever that is, whatever that dark goddess has brought to you, whatever those elements that need to be integrated, it can be really, really scary, and it can be really, really hard. And this is, I think, one of the things that I am so passionate about people having the right support. Because if you need a counselor, you see a counselor. If you need a somatic counselor, you see one of those. If you need body work, you need acupuncture, you need massage, or you need a doctor that will listen to you. If you need a different kind of assessment, if you need a doctor who will help you with your hormones, or maybe you're nutritionally deficient and you need a nutritionist or a health coach or a life coach. If you need these things, then you should get them. You should find that community, find those networking people. And it can be really hard sometimes to feel like you're doing it all alone. And we should never be doing anything without support. You have to walk your journey alone. You're the only person in your skin suit. You're the only one who knows what's going on in your body. You're the only one who knows what's really going on in your head. There are gifted people like me that can tell you what your guides are telling you, but I don't know what's going on in your head. I have no idea. And anybody who tells you they do, question that. But you walk that alone inside you. You're the only one in there. But the other part of that is you do have support. You have guides. You have spiritual entities surrounding you. You're living inside Mother Earth's ecosystem, inside her consciousness. You have her to access. You have all of her animal helpers to access, as Astra is like sitting right in my lap. You have people around you who have done that integration and done that dark journey, or they're doing it on their own too, and they just need to know that they're not alone with you. We shouldn't be doing it alone. The integration this weekend for me was really very much getting, and I'm still working on 3 of them, though I suspect that I have one. I just misunderstood some instructions, and that's okay. So out of the 9 numbers, I've got 6 in my body, which means I can call on them at will, physically. The energetic part I've been able to do since I figured this thing out, but it's the body part. And so my body, in that integration piece, there are all these individual body activations that now have to be integrated with the energetic stuff that I've had for years. And maybe I did have the body a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe I learned them as a child. I don't know. But I will tell you that that integration now I have in conscious awareness, as well as energetic awareness, as well as the integration of all of the pieces that I've been gathering over the years. And it's a powerful experience. And I wish everybody who's a practitioner, anybody who's a practitioner, anybody who's walking the world who is struggling with their jobs or struggling with relationships or just wanting to live life fuller, they need this. Everybody needs this. Everybody needs this tool, because this brings brightness and light into the darkest recesses of your mind and your body. And there is so much light in this work, and I will probably talk about it ad nauseum until everybody's tired of hearing about it. But it makes integration of the shadow stuff so much easier. I've done so much shadow work over the years that I've known from the very beginning that you have to go through the shadow to work on the shadow. And when you go through the shadow with integration, with body integration, the shadow is not as dark. It's just not. The shadow is not as heavy, because you have the ability to lift the veil from behind that darkness with a whole new set of tools. I don't know if I'm speaking where it makes sense, but it matters. There's a vastness of connection. I woke up this morning, actually, so a couple years ago, right after the dark time, there were a couple people in my life, and I had started seeing these really big connections, and there's this thing that I keep seeing. I won't tell you what the thing is, but I could see all the patterning with this group of people. And I got them in a room together, and I said, okay, this is the outline. How do you want to work on it? And the kicker is that I shouldn't have done anything other than connect those people and move away. And I made a mistake with that. But the kicker is that that group of people is the beginning of something, but it's integration with the activation of natural numbers that needs to be brought together. And I woke up this morning with this real kick in the butt type moment of apology and acceptance and integration of, I was so excited and I got tangled in the middle of it, and I shouldn't have gotten tangled in the middle of it, and I should have let it go and let the other things cascade. And I realize now that that's why when there's some, when I talk about blueprints and I talk about choices, I can't see my own blueprint. And there were some choices that I made as part of my lesson, right? Like, I could have made these different choices. And there were a couple days that I remember during that time period where I was like, I really need to just step back and I need to let these people figure their stuff out. And I like to help. And I got entangled in the helping part, and probably a little bit of my own ego, definitely probably a little bit of my own ego got tangled in with that. And there was a person that was in that group that made choices that energetically caused the group itself to kind of not flow properly, right? And that's fine, but it shouldn't have died. And I don't think it did die. I think it just kind of, there's a huge pause button laying over that group of people, that if I can get some of those people into this body of 9 integration piece where they can get all 9 centers activated, I think this big thing that I keep feeling will happen still. I know it will still happen. I've known that for a while, but I wasn't sure where the pieces were. And that's what I woke up with this morning. I woke up with the knowing that body of 9 is that other piece that and I've known that, right? But I didn't know how it cascaded in with all these other things that I keep seeing. There's a little bit of I think the word would be fear. I think there's a little bit of fear that we're still in that tipping point of people could choose to not move in with the light and move in with purpose and design and change for the better. And there's an integration piece in the physical form. All of the stuff that all of us light workers have been doing for decades out in this energetic ether has to be anchored in the body, in the real world. I talk about this all the time. You gotta be grounded, you gotta use breath, you gotta take care of your body. You can't just be out there in the fluffy fluff all the time. You have to be grounded. And the body piece of that is here. It's here. The Pathfinder found it and it's here, and all we have to do is come together and integrate that information. And it's important to bring that energy, all that ethery energy, metaphysically, ritually stuff, right? We have to bring it into the body, integrate it so that it can move forward in the real world in an acting, changing way without fear. Because once you activate all those places in the body, like I said, the shadow no longer has weight. It's like lifting the weight off the shadow. The shadow is still there. You still have to go through the journey, but the weight is no longer there. It's not heavy anymore. It's just movement. And I get really excited about it because for years and years and years, my visions, my prophecy gift, my clairvoyance, all it could see was the dark time. Not the only thing it could see, but it was, this is the dark time, and then there's this, and then there's this, and there's this, and there's a speeding up, but there's this opening. But there's so many choices that have to happen in that dark time, and we're not out of the dark time. Not quite. I think maybe we're getting close. I don't know. Time is this weird thing, but getting past the dark time is integral to all these other potentials that I keep getting glimpses of. And it's important. It lasts generations. It's healing. And it's so important for the world. I get teary-eyed every time I think about it because I'm excited and I'm happy and it's emotional and it's beautiful. But that weight of that dark time for decades just sat on me. And this feeling that I had to be really careful about who I told because they would not understand and they would misinterpret. And it's also so big and so amorphously heavy that I didn't know how to explain what I was feeling. I still don't know how to explain all of what I'm feeling, but I know that this body work is integral to everyone being able to make it through and get to the other side of where we're going. Well, that was a really heavy daily devotional, and I kind of went off track into La Laville, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Breathe in. And release. Oh, it feels so good to breathe. Okay. Well, I hope you all have a beautiful day today, and I will see you in prayer. Blessed be.